What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Bianconeri Zone for another live show. It's been a while. I think, I think it's almost been a week ever since I think Julian was live the last time, right? Not sure. Yeah, I think it was post post Lazio game on Thursday. So it's almost been a week um, ever since we did the last live show. I tried to do one in the week, but I couldn't. Yeah, as you can hear, my voice is still not 100%. So I'll try to do this one um, as best as possible. um, what are we going to talk about today? Obviously, the game, yesterday's game, obviously. A little bit about what's going on with the prosecutors and all the whatever you want to call it, videos, leaks, and other stuff doing the round at this moment in time. So we will talk about that also. We will talk about the Youth League game because I went to the game. Wasn't planned, but still decided to go late today. So I went to the Youth League game. I will touch on that a little bit. And then questions before I will wrap it up. If my voice holds on for that long today. But yeah, let's get into it. So I went to the Youth League game today. It was played. It was played where I live, basically, like 5 minutes from where I live is a stadium. So I decided to go. Wasn't planning to do it first, but went, and I'm actually happy that I went. I'm not gonna lie. It was actually a good game. Like better than I was expecting. My opinion. Excuse me. I think Hanin asked me in the Discord yesterday or something about Genk. Their youth team is not good, and I think everybody who watched the game today saw they're not good. Like they're not. They also have a B team playing in the second division, so most of the quote unquote good ones are playing in that team or made it into the first team, whatever. That team is not good, and as you saw that, I think they had one decent shot on target against 9 men, and that was in the last seconds of the game. So they're not good. They weren't good. But yeah, I was pleasantly surprised. I'm not gonna lie. I think if they stayed with 11, even with 10, they would have won that game quite easily, in my opinion. Because if you can put that type of pressure still on a team with 9 men, then wow, imagine what you can do in the second half with 10, 11 men, and I think, I don't know when it was it September, October, when we were talking about Sec Allegri and bringing Montero just to ride out the season. I think it was after we got dumped on by Benfica, right? And we were completely, or Maccabi, one of the two. And he had a bad stretch, Montero, in the league. But if you can let your team play in that manner, with 9 men, excuse me, they were well drilled. They knew exactly when to press and go for it, and they knew exactly when just to hold on. Hold back and sit tight. And when they pressed, they found each other. Excuse me. With great ease, there were actually some patterns of play. Like it was a nice build up. The runs were amazing, and it was actually impressive to see. When 9 men, like the moment when I don't know how many people played football in real life. If you're down with 9, it's a very long day because you're just late on everything. You can sit back at some point. You look around and you're like, how the hell are 2 men there standing wide open, to take a shot? It just happened. You lose focus. You're just 2 men down. But they were very well drilled. I was surprised. The commitment, everything, They deserved to win that game. They were very unlucky, hitting the crossbar, had a couple of good chances. They were unlucky, but it is what it is. Now, um, somebody asked who impressed you the most, and let me put it up. I was going to that part. Out of all the players on the pitch, subs, both teams, I think there was one player who obviously is the player who you are looking at, and you're like, if one of those, I don't know how many players there were in total, let's say 26 in total, that's a lie. Let's say 30 players in total. If one of them is going to make it at the highest level, if you need to bet your money and you're like, he will make it, it's Yildiz. Yeah, it is what it is. Like, he's playing, he needs to play with the under 23s. I think that's a rumor as well, that he's going to play with the under 23s very soon. And he needs to do that kind of ASAP, because I think another season is not going to help him playing with this group of players, in my opinion, because he's better than the rest. Like he is, because he has a burst on his with the ball on his feet. You know what he's gonna do. You know he's gonna cut inside or even outside a few times. You know what he's gonna do, but it's really quick. Like it's 1-2 touches and he's gone. Like he's actually gone. And on top of that, he is big. Like you only watch him on TV, or like me, I watch him on TV. He's big. Like he's a big, strong player. I was kind of impressed, and he looked very good. He looked really good, man. Especially in that second half when we were 9. He was carrying that team, and you can feel it. And towards the end, they were doubling on him, and he was still skipping past players, and he was very unlucky to not score. Like he was unlucky on another day. The ball takes a better deflection, it goes in, or the goalie don't makes a save in that fashion. He was very unlucky, but he was good, man. He was really good. But again, he's still young. It's still early. I think the next step is the under 23s, where again he will play a completely different type of football, Series C football, against. I don't know how many people watch the under 23s at times, especially away days. If you watch a game, focus on away games when they play bottom of the half teams. It's mad. Like some of the stuff you see out there, that's how you grow a player, basically. Like that's how a player gets introduced into football. But because at times it feels like it's just a scramble party, it's not ball at moments, and I think he needs that. I think he can handle it because he's very physical. But yeah, the burst, it kind of remind me a little bit the way he skip past players, a little bit of Cuadrado. Only Cuadrado does it out of complete, like Cuadrado will stand still completely, and then he moves the ball and he's gone. He can do it while he is, running with the ball, basically. So it's a bit different, but he has that burst on him where he, flicks that ball and he's gone, and he can even outpower you while he's in possession. So I was kind of impressed, and it's good. It's actually very good to have these type of players coming through. A little bit like Sule and Miretti last season when you were watching the youth league and you were like, oh, they're too good for this level. Like they need an extra step up, to actually see, okay, can you do this at the highest level? I think he needs that now, because at times it looked far too easy for him, to be honest. Yeah, Nonge, he was very well as well. He was good, especially in that second half. Like he was good. He's good. He's 2-footed too. Yeah. He's actually like. Yeah, I know a lot of big teams were following him, so I guess that wasn't just coincidence. No, it isn't coincidence. Excuse me, it isn't. And the goals he's scoring, the amount of goals he's scoring, is also not coincidence. Like it's not. He's very well. He's very good, And now that I because we talk about you players so many times and we watch them on TV. But when you watch something in real life, it's different because you can see things off the ball. You can see movements when he doesn't receive the ball, but you're like, oh, but man, that was a great run. Should he have received the ball there? He's gone, or that's great. Um, it looks different in real life. It is what it is. So I'm happy I went. It was a good game, a good game. So that's that, I guess. Let's see how far he will develop. Obviously, excuse me. Let's see how far he will go or how far he will make it. I think next season he will play with the under 23s. Maybe at the beginning, not all the games. Maybe he will flip flop between the two. Um, but I think he should. If you're being completely honest, I think he should. I think he's ready after this season to take that jump, and then also, like all the others, train with the first team. A bit more. I think he did train with the first team a few times, but do it with a more consistency. I think that will help. Also, with all the movements in the team, who knows? Sooner or later, in maybe midway next season, he will get a few minutes. Who knows? It kind of goes fast at the club at this moment in time. So yeah, it's different. On TV, you don't see anything unless you're watching the Sanitana game yesterday. They had an amazing view of the stadium. Like you could have almost seen the entire city of Salerno while watching the game. Like the camera view was wow. It was something different. But other than that, you usually don't see the entire pitch. You don't see everybody always. So it was fun. Like it was good to see that. Um, and Nina saying, and the next gen don't have any firepower up top. Excuse me. We could use them as a sports striker in the 3-5-2 plus. Yeah, the under 23s. I think that's the only. How do you want to say that? Downside a little bit. Going forward, like attacking wise, they're not really like it's not. Oh, that's a talent or like. So it's good to have him, obviously. But yeah, like it's just positive when you see Miretti in the first team, Fagioli in the first team, Sule in the first team, Junior in the first team, and you see Hoyson playing very well with the under 23s now. You see the Yildiz kid coming through or like looking very promising. It gives you a good feeling. Like, let's be completely honest. It gives you a positive feeling. It gives you a little bit of a boost in terms of okay, the club is doing the right things, at a lower level to improve at the highest level, in my opinion. Because, again, said it many times. Maybe in 5 years' times, the only player at the club is Fagioli. I'm just saying something. It is what it is. Like they're not going to be all here at the club within the next 5 years. Like some will make it, some won't. But if you can bring one of those guys and make him a regular starter for the first team every 4 to 5 years, I'll take it. I'll take it. That's already massive in my opinion. So let's see how that will go. Obviously, I will talk about the trial a bit later towards the back end of the show. So ask me that again after I talked about yesterday's game. Olaf, keep that in mind. Ask me that in about 10 to 15 minutes, and I will talk about that. So yeah, that's that. They lost. They're out of the youth league. Should have made it to the next round, but yeah, it is what it is, and I did enjoy it. Thanks. It is what it is, I guess. Focus on the league now and keep it moving. Okay, let's talk about yesterday's game. Because we won, and I predicted, excuse me, a 1-1 draw. I don't think I have a right prediction in, I think, months. Maybe this season. No, I did have one at the start of the season, and that's about it, I think. So I predicted 1-1. it wasn't even close to 1-1. Like, I don't think it was even close to Sanitana getting one. Basically, um, it was a very easy game. You know, it was very mature. Like it reminded me of the Lazio home game, which also reminded me of the previous 2012 until 2000. Pick your choice. When we went into games and you were like, "We're gonna win it," and then you watch the first 10 minutes and you're like, "Yeah, it's done." 3 points a day, happy days. It's just gonna happen. Maybe not the first 10 minutes yesterday, 15 minutes, but after that penalty, the game was over. Like it was completely over. We were in full control from start to finish, in my opinion. Even when we weren't playing that particularly well in the first 15 minutes, Sanitana were just poor. Credit to us as well, but they weren't good, to be honest. I thought Hans, because I'll bring him up a little bit, Nicolucci played very well up to the penalty. After that, I think he had a disaster of a game. Like, I felt a bit sorry for him, but he was playing very well up to the penalty foul. And then, like, he had a kind of a nightmarish game. Um, but yeah, I thought I'll start off with talking about Miretti because he needed a good game, and I thought he was playing very good. I thought he was playing his best game, probably not of the season, but ever since September, maybe October, he was playing his best game. Like he was getting involved, he was clean on the ball, he was making the right movements, and he wins the penalty, and then that injury. Now, as you can see, that's a medical report from Juve. Nothing broken, nothing torn, so that's positive news. But he's gonna be out for a month or so. But yeah, like it's tough because you're losing a player we are playing quite a lot, so that's bad news. But at the flip side is just happy it is in the news everybody was maybe expecting because he was playing. Um, he's playing regular football at a very young age. He cannot afford to be out for a year with an injury. Like that cannot happen. That absolutely cannot happen because that will set back his development so much, and it will be so sad because I think he has everything to make it at the club to be a starter for many years. So let's say this is positive news, that he will only be out for a month and then he will be back, quote unquote, maybe. um, but that's the positive news. It looked much worse. I thought the moment it happened, he was crying. I was like, oh boy, he tore something and he's gone for I don't know how many months. Because I had the same thing, just walking and then it snapped out of nowhere, and I was like, it happened. And I was like, I feel so sorry for him. But that's the positive news, I guess. We need to take out of today. So he's out for about a month, apparently. So we just need to deal with it. Fajoli came on for him. I thought he was excellent again. I think I hate that we have a different setup. Not one player, a few players. Like every single game, we rotate a few players. I get that we play many games, but surely they can play 3-4 games kind of in a row. No, I don't like that. It's very difficult to build like some sort of chemistry. But Fajoli should not be on the bench anymore. I think that's something we will all agree on. Like he needs to play. Like he just needs to play. And assuming Mikani is out now, Mikani is gone. Miretti is out. Pogba still not fit. Paredes is injured, and I think Allegri is kind of done with him. You would assume Fajoli is gonna play now. But yeah, I thought he came in, and I thought he was brilliant. That's my opinion. Let me see. Yeah. So that was that. But I think the biggest takeaway from yesterday, besides that, we looked solid again, and we just did the Juve thing. Just go in there, keep it clean. Don't be spectacular, if people want to call that, flashy and all those things, but just get the job done. I thought Vlahovic, I think that's the biggest story. Like, he's back. Um, he's not 100%. He said it himself after the game. He said, like, I still need a few more games minutes, because he said, and I thought that was interesting. He quoted the exact days he missed. I think it was 115 days, right? So I was like, oh, that's interesting. I feel like when he said that, because I had it on, I was making a graphic and he was speaking on the TV. And the moment he said like 115 days, I'm like, oh, that's very specific. He remembered the amount of days he was kind of out. So I was like, okay, he's really, in my opinion, looking to, how do you want to say that? Not prove himself, maybe prove himself. Because what happened this season, injury, he struggled at the start of the season. I do believe because of those injuries. But he was brilliant yesterday. You might say his best game for us ever since he joined, maybe. Because I thought he was excellent. Build up play, link up play, creating for his own. He was hungry. He was in the good in the right spots when he needed to be. You can say he should have done better with the Kostic goal, but it turned out to be an assist. It happens. He muffed the shot, but goals well taken. The penalty well taken. And the second goal, great run, first touch. Yeah, I think that's what he needed. That's what we needed, because Keane, Allegri can big him up. I don't think we can rely on Keane. Milik is out. He was, the guy who was scoring the big goals. He's out for a month. So it's only good that he's back, and that he's back in this fashion, I guess. So that's positive. I think that's the biggest positive from yesterday, because I think we were all waiting for him to, do his thing. Why we paid 70 mil, maybe too much, but why everybody wanted him, basically. Like, I don't know a fan who said, I don't want Vlahovic. I do know fans who said, sell Vlahovic a few months ago. Some of them are in the chat, by the way. But yeah, happy for him, because we're going to need him. It's as simple as that. We're going to need him. What I didn't like yesterday, and it's not criticism, he brings in Chiesa, but he subs off Di Maria. I'm like, we are never going to see those three up top. Like, when are we going to see those three up top? It was kind of frustrating. And then he subs off Vlahovic. I get that one. He's not 100%, excuse me. He scored 2 goals. He played well. We're going to need him. So I understood that. Understood that sub, by the way. I agree. We need a starting 11 for a few games. You can rotate players, but if we do that every single game, I think it's very difficult to build some sort of chemistry between the players. Training is one thing, playing games is another thing, and yeah, I think we are the only fan base, and maybe Chelsea, because they have like 35 players or whatever, that are sitting every week in front of Twitter and be like, who the hell is he picking now? Like, usually, like 9, 10 names on the team sheet, like, but whatever, I guess. Yeah, he was good, and it's positive, because we needed Vlahovic big time. Like, we need him big time. Please like the video. Somebody made a remark on Di Maria, because he fades away around the 60th minute. I agree. I think he can do much better. I think he can hold on a little bit longer, but I think that's the mark where we are going to sub him off from now until the end of the season. It happened at the World Cup final, but I thought he was excellent yesterday. He was very unlucky, but I thought he's a key player for us in the build-up, his passes, link-up play, the runs he makes. Like, he's just quality. But I agree. I think at a certain point he fades away, and you just need to take it. It's age. It is what it is. Maybe not. Maybe if you were playing at home, you let him play a little bit more. you know. And maybe if we were not winning 3-0, he would have been playing even more. But it was 3-0, the game was out, so he took him off. But I agree with that remark. And I think we're just gonna see that as a pattern now, that he gets subbed off around that mark, you know. I think it's just what it is. I know there's a story out there a few hours ago. I don't know what the source was. Was it Gaston? Maybe. I think it was Gaston saying that Di Maria plans to play another season in Europe before he leaves to Argentina. Um, if that's the case and we don't get relegated, I do believe it's with us. I don't think he's gonna move City one more time. You might say he goes back to Benfica, maybe, but I think, I, I think there's a possibility that he stays for one more year. That's just my opinion. You know. Let me see. Oh, it was TYC Sports. Okay, could be. I thought it was Gaston. I don't know. They're a good outlet, by the way. They're a very good outlet. So, yeah, let's see how that will go. I guess still far away from that. Um, but yeah, I thought he was good yesterday. What else on the game? I had something planned to say, but I forgot. I forgot. I completely forgot. Oh yeah, Allegri's post game comments explaining why he was very angry the last 30 minutes, and I agree with him. But it happens a lot, so I'm a bit confused as of why it keeps happening. You know, is it really that the players are not listening? Because we do, like, we didn't concede clean cut chances, but we conceded a little bit too much of possession slash shots towards goal. You know, maybe a bit too much. Um, and yes, the last part he said was right. You know, you're trying to. Excuse me. Jesus. We were trying to play the ball around on our own half, and we were losing it because we were slow in the build up, and we were at a moment we were doing a triangle, and we were doing the triangle twice. Like, it went straight to the same three players twice, and I was like, guys, like, just switch play, like, move it on. And in the last 10 minutes, I think Cuadrado lost it like 3 times straight down the middle. You know, just gave it away because why not? You know, spice up the game for no reason. Again, it's 3-0 against Sanitana, I get it. But if it's 2-0 against Inter and they score and there's still 5 minutes plus 5 extra time, you know what can happen, you know? I think that's what he was trying to say. But I agree with him. You know, especially the last 15 minutes, we were very, very sloppy when we just needed to control the game. Again, the flip side is we could have won that game 5-6-0 with a bit of more luck and maybe a bit more of composure and picking up the final pass, you know. But again, that didn't happen, so you need to look at the other side and be like, okay, we're just not giving the ball away just for fun in our own half, because we do love to do that. But that's, you know, who we are, I guess. I don't think that's gonna change, you know, this season. But we won. I think that's the most important thing. 3-0. I predicted 1-1, so I'm shocked. We won the direct confrontation with Sanitano to stay up in Serie A. So that's positive. Next is Sunday, right? 6:00. Fiorentina. Another must-win game. Another game we should win. You know, I'm no excuses. I don't think they're a good team. That's just what I think. I don't think they're a good team. You play at home. I just think you just need to win. It's as kind of as simple as that. You know, there's no other option, I guess. So win that game and keep it rolling, because that's what we need to do now. Because again, and I'll move to the last part of the video or the live before I wrap it up. We don't know what's gonna happen with the 15 points, and what's gonna happen with the wage thing, and what's gonna happen with UEFA investigations. We have no idea. The only thing we know is we have, I don't even know how many points we have. 25? Like somebody remind me. But we are the position we are in the league is reality at this moment in time. And you just need to get your head around it. Move on from the fact that we could have had, I don't know, 41 points, 40 points, or we should have had. It is not what it is now. So you need to keep it moving, and you need to start winning games. It's as simple as that. That's what Allegri is trying to say to the players. So that's that. Now, before I move on to the speculations or like the videos out there from prosecutors and all those things, for the people who don't like what I say, leave the video. Like, just leave the live, because you're not gonna love what I'm gonna say, and don't bother to put out a comment. Again, there was a comment today. I read all the comments. I try to respond to all the comments. So I also read the crappy comments. It is what it is. I don't care if you attack me, but I do when you start attacking other people in the comments for agreeing with my opinion or sharing my opinion, and you start attacking those persons. It's like, it's pointless, you know. If you want to have a go at me, fine, you know. I'm out there, I'm here, I speak, so it's your right to have a go at me. But if you go at people who share the same opinion in the comments, I'm gonna remove you from the channel. You know, it's as simple as that, because it's pointless. You know, you're just messing up the comment section, and it's not fun anymore. You know, but the comment was that I don't love the club because I'm because I have the audacity to question certain things at the club. That was basically the comments, literally saying, you need to support the club, you know, no matter what. You know, watching the club since I was 6 years old. Okay, fine. Same. Watch the first game. Watch the Rimini game. 1-1. I remember that. 2006. I remember that. Watch that crappy game. I did, you know. So, I don't know. You're not a real fan if you criticize the club is complete bullshit. I will say this. If you don't criticize the club and you agree with everything they throw out there, you're not a real fan. And you don't really love the club, because you will eat up everything they throw out there. You won't question anything. That's not a real fan, in my opinion, because a real fan should be looking at the situation and be honest with themselves. Just be honest. Like, criticizing the club doesn't mean you hate the club. Oh, you hate the club, stop watching the club. What kind of bullshit is that? If I hate the club, I wasn't be doing these videos every single day. Like, I wouldn't waste 2 hours of my day tweeting out news, making graphics, do this. Like, it's 2 to 3 hours extra in a day I can use better, you know? I can do different stuff, more useful stuff. But whatever. I said in my video yesterday, if nobody watched the video, I said in 2006, the club was very quiet. There was a struggle, a power struggle within the family about the club, within the club, about power. They were very quiet. They kind of accepted everything that came their way. And the only thing I said, I have the feeling the same thing is happening now. That's all I've said. Because yesterday, Calvo spoke and he said, because of the video, everybody saw the video. There's a new video today. And he said, this could have been taken out of context, like the wiretaps basically could have been taken out of context. Now, in the video, I also said you can look at two ways. The positive way is, okay, the club will play their cards in terms of, you see, you took clips or parts out of a wire tap, whatever, but it's out of context, because here are the papers, and they don't match. Whatever. That's what the positive people can say. Fine, I get that point. I said, going back to from 2006 until now, excuse me, how many fans have had the feeling that whenever we get dragged through the mud in the media, how many fans in the comments, let me know, had the feeling that the club is there for the fans, to back the fans, to say now is enough, stop bullshitting. There are no leaks. There's like, the club owns La Stampa, and there's no crappy. I'm not saying censor the newspapers, because that should never happen, but the things coming out of La Stampa, you're like, oh, do you guys really own the newspaper? Very strange, but it is what it is. But how many people have the feeling that over all these years, with VAR decisions, or Napoli presidents calling us out, the COVID, the Napoli COVID thing with we don't travel and all those things, when we were in our own right, it was proven, and the club was like, we will accept everything, blah blah blah. If that was the flip side, like they always want to be Mr. Good guys, but they don't care about us. They absolutely don't care. And I just have the feeling the club is completely deaf and blind towards it. And they want to be the gentleman in a world, being Italy, footballing world, where there are no gentlemen. It's a war. Everybody is fighting for themselves, and they are trying to be the good guys. That's the feeling I have. Over these, I don't know how many years, how many times have things come out? We've been attacked by presidents, Commisso speaking, all those things, and the club is just completely silent, and it's just the fans looking at each other and be like, what the hell is happening over here? The crappy articles in the media, and the false allegations and all those things, and the club is silent. So I only said, based on that, and based on Calvo's quote, I was like, oh, this doesn't feel right. This feels, again, like we're going to just accept it. We will fight it, but it is what it is. And that's why I believe, again, pre-Atalanta, Allegri's presser was very calm. Post-Atalanta, he was very aggressive. We had so many points, the Salernitana game, blah, blah, blah. And then the week after, completely flipped. Man, we need to fight for relegation. Like, all these small indications, in my opinion, show to me that everything is preset. The news that came out, why 15 points, when you read that, you're like, oh boy, this is bullshit, but they're still pushing forward with it. The videos coming out yesterday, I'm not saying these are old videos, but there are videos out there from years back, quotes and all those things. We knew these things were happening. It's just now that we're being investigated by these people that is all popping up, but it's been there for years. It's nothing new. It's nothing new. All those things. I'm sorry if I'm not very optimistic. You can be, but my opinion is different, because there's no proof that I should be positive or optimistic about it. There's no proof. Ever since 2006, and include 2006, that summer, until now, there's no proof that you can show me that I should be very optimistic that the club is really, really going forward with all their firepower, because they haven't proven it over all those years. That's just my personal opinion. Whatever. They never back the fans. Yeah, personally, how many times do you have the feeling as a fan you're just been put there, out there, all alone, and you're facing the heat, and you're like, we shouldn't be facing this heat, We shouldn't be fighting your battle, because all these things coming out is fans doing the digging, It's not the club, it's the fans. I think a lot of fans have that same feeling, where they're like, where's the club in this situation? And again, not saying put out an official statement every single 5 minutes. I'm not saying this, but certain times, as a fan, you're just, okay, the club needs to do something. They need to, let themselves hear in a different way. Not, we will respect every decision, blah, blah, blah. Nobody wants to hear that. As a fan, you don't want to hear that in this situation. That's all I said. If that's not being a fan, Okay. Like, if that doesn't fit your definition of being a fan, that's fine. That's your opinion. Don't watch the videos, don't watch the channel, don't like the videos, unsubscribe. There are other Juve channels out there. We never force you to watch this one. It is what it is. But if something doesn't sits right with me, I will say it. I will not be blind. I will not applaud every single thing the club does, because in my opinion, that's not a real fan. If you just blindly support everything the club does, then I don't want to say the word, but it is what it is. I think that's the moment when the club will take most advantage out of the fans. It's as simple as that. Because it's a bit like the ticket prices, everything was going well and the prices were high. Everything is going completely wrong and the prices were still high. They dropped a little bit, but they're still way too high. And you can see the response by the fans is close to nothing at times, if we're being completely honest. So even in those situations, I'm like, okay, that tells me a lot of fans do agree with what I think. They don't, because if you agree with everything, you can be a Man U fan. Stadium sold out. They're crap. They're taking money out of the club, but they're still going to the games. The owners are sitting there like, good, we're taking the piss out of you. You're still coming. You're still turning up. That's not good. Again, I'm not saying don't show up because we're going to a bad period on the pitch. But if it's for years, then yeah, you need to tell the club. You don't need to blindly support. Maybe like an Arsenal have done for so many years, and the Cronkies just they laughed. They hit the jackpot basically. Shirt sale going up, sold out stadiums, playing Europa League year in year out. Madness. But yeah. Perhaps it's in the club best interest that they say as little as possible, while the legal team does its homework in preparation for it. Maybe not. I agree with that. Again, I'm not saying put out a statement every single. I was talking about 2006 until now. That's what I said in my video. Because there have been many times where we're being under attack, completely false, and the club was completely silenced, and we the fans were taking all the heat, and you felt a bit abandoned by the club. That was what I was trying to say. Personally, like there's still no leaks to the club, to the media, where you're like, oh, the club is going into this direction, or the club blah blah blah. There's absolutely nothing. That was all what I was saying. I was talking about the bigger picture, not yesterday, what happened yesterday, or on Monday, which day it was. That was all I was trying to say, by the way. Haman is saying criticism must be told whenever there is a visible problem. You can't just hide from it. And with you on this, yeah. If you want to hide, fine. You be the fan you want to be, but don't come bullshitting under the comments. Be like, you cannot say this. You need to support a club in this difficult situation. I am supporting. I'm watching. I'm going to the Napoli game. I'm going to the Juve Napoli game. I'm going to pay money. I'm going to pay the club money to watch that game. I'm helping them. Like, I'm actually going to pay them money to watch the game. So don't come at me with, you don't support the club. I watch every single game. I do this thing. I'm very invested. And because I'm this invested, I care. And because I care, I'm not going to sit there and accept everything they throw my way. Like, I'm not going to do it. And if you don't like it, that's fair. Like, that's your opinion, but don't tell me under the comments. Don't do that. Like, or do that, but don't involve other people who share the same opinion. Don't do that. Yeah, I mean, you need to stay positive that somehow you get those 15 points back. It's not impossible. I think it's very unlikely, in my opinion. Now, I forgot the name. Before I went live. He was a minister. I forgot the name. It was a minister from... I completely forgot. But he spoke about the person in question yesterday, the video, and the one came out today, and he said, like, this is unacceptable. Like, this cannot happen. Joke or no joke. There are certain jobs you occupy, you should have a certain way of speaking and communicating. You cannot do this. And he's right. Like, because yesterday, I think, I don't know what it was. Today was it whatever you want to call it, the boss of the PMs, whatever, saying, "Oh, but he's not a judge, so we cannot really do anything about it, and it's a joke and all those things." That's what you're fighting against, you know. There's always a counter argument. It's a joke. Okay, it's a joke, I guess. You know, it's madness, but it's Italy, so it's very normal, I guess. It's normal. But let's see. You always should hope you get those 15 points back, because 15 points, it's a lot. Like, it still makes absolutely no sense. Like, it doesn't make sense. Like, it's very confusing. Also, it's only us. Like, and also, the problem in question is that we predetermined the profit we wanted to make. Again, it's not illegal to overvalue a player. And the same person who is prosecuting us and all those things and doing this research said the same thing in 2019. Like, it's pointless because it's not illegal. Last season, they wiped off all the charges. It got reopened because of taps, which, again, like, there's no proof. They basically are the same. In the wiretaps, the same things are said that we already knew. It's for profit. It's for cooking up the books. Everybody knew that. Everybody does it. Everybody knows why clubs are doing it. Like, it's complete madness. It's complete madness. But yeah, that's what I was trying to say on that one. But let's see. We're still a while off to the appeal, then the verdict, and then the wage thing, and then appeal that and the verdict. So it's gonna be a very long couple of months, I guess. And a lot of weird things will come out. There will come out, because today, I think it was Corriere dello Sport, was trying to convince people that the prosecutor Cine was a Juve fan, which is absolutely bullshit. He's an Inter fan, like, it's proven, but whatever. But that's also going around, basically. That's all you need to know. Yeah. But yeah. I think I have nothing to say anymore. My voice is completely gone now. So I think I'm gonna wrap it up. There will be no midday video tomorrow, because I was at the game today. I didn't have time to record one for an early drop tomorrow. I will make it daily later on the day. On Friday, there will be a podcast. So Julian is very, very busy, but I'm going to record a podcast with him tomorrow. So that will be out on Friday. Then a preview on Saturday, and then the match stuff on Sunday. Yeah. But yeah. I'm going to wrap this one up. Please like the video. Do that before you leave. Subscribe to the channel. Hit that bell notification. And yeah, go watch my previous video, which I was talking about the last 20 minutes. And like that one as well. And yeah, thanks everyone for watching on this Wednesday evening. I'll see you back tomorrow, I guess.